Aida for refusing an affair with my coworker and not quitting my job like my wife wants me to. I'm 43M, married to my wife for over 18 years. Wow. And we have 3 amazing kids together. Like any long marriage, we've been through our share of highs and lows, maybe more lows than most couples our age. We made it through. At least I thought we did. Recently, something happened that made me question where my marriage actually stands. At my new job, which I worked really hard to land, by the way, I met a coworker. She's smart, funny, easy to talk to, and we got along well. I want to be very clear here. From my side, everything was purely platonic. Friendly. I never flirted, never crossed a line, and didn't even think of her in that way. I'm married. I love my wife. I've worked way too hard to rebuild it, to throw it all away for a cheap thrill. But one night, she sent me a flirty message, and then a racy pic, completely out of the blue. Honestly, I was shocked. I never encouraged that kind of thing. Never gave her any reason to think I'd be open to it, so I shut it down immediately. I told her that I wasn't interested, that I had a good wife and a good life, and I wasn't about to risk any of it. Period. It could have ended there, but I decided to be open with my wife. I told her what happened, figuring transparency was the best route. She actually laughed about it at first. I think she thought it was a compliment that someone still saw her husband as attractive. We joked. It was fine. But a few days later, she went through my phone while I was in the shower. I didn't think much of it. I didn't hide anything. But when I came out, her mood had completely changed. She'd seen the texts and she was angry, hurt. She told me that the fact another woman would even try to flirt with me meant I must have given her a reason to. She said that if she wasn't being a good wife, maybe I'd eventually cheat on her. I told her flat out I would never cheat. If I ever felt our marriage was over, I would tell her. I would leave. I would never sneak around behind her back, especially not after everything we've been through. Now, here's where the past comes in. About 10 years ago, I hit a serious low point in my life. We were drowning financially. I fell into a deep depression. I was barely functioning. During that time, my wife asked for a separation, but in hindsight, I don't blame her. I was stuck in a black hole. I didn't know how to escape. But that separation woke me up. I fought my way back, little by little. I got therapy, found a job, and started rebuilding. Eventually, she came back. And to her credit, since then, she has been supportive, loving, and committed. We've worked hard to heal, or at least that's what I thought, but that whole experience left a mark on me. I promised myself I would never fall into that hole again. I would never allow myself to lose everything, my sense of self, my livelihood, my dignity. Just because life got hard, I won't. So now, after this whole coworker situation, my wife is asking me to quit my job. She says she doesn't want me around that woman anymore. I told her that I shut it down and was honest with her. I told her there's nothing to worry about. She keeps pushing. She says if I don't leave the job, it means I want to be near that woman. That I must be tempted, that I must want something to happen. I'll be honest, I snapped. I told her that I'm not quitting my job. It's not just because I don't want to, but because I can't afford to. Not financially, but emotionally. If I quit and can't find another job right away, I have a deep fear that she'll leave me again, and I'll lose everything again. I told her that I'd rather be divorced and employed than unemployed and waiting around to be abandoned. She said I'm still holding on to the past. Maybe I am, but how could I not? She did leave me once when things got hard. That doesn't just vanish from your memory. I've forgiven her, but I haven't forgotten what it taught me. No one will save me but me, so I have to protect myself. Then she threw this line at me. Well, if we divorce, then you'll just go running to that woman. Because it's like she doesn't trust me at all. It's like she thinks the only thing keeping me faithful is her control, not my own integrity. I told her if you divorce me, you don't get to have a say in who I date afterward. But until then, I'm your husband, and I've done nothing wrong. Now things are tense. She's barely speaking to me, but I'm standing my ground. I'm not quitting my job. I've done nothing to feel guilty about, and I am not putting myself in a vulnerable position again just to make someone else feel more secure. So I ask, am I the asshole here? I didn't cheat. I shut down inappropriate behavior. I told the truth. I protected my family and my career. But somehow I'm the bad guy because I 1T wreck my own stability to make up for a what if. Is that really fair?